thing.
But,
How long have you had that?
this is my third one. I just got this, and the needle is so long right now. I don't know why they gave me this needle that's that long, but I've had this one about 6 weeks. This is my third one. I had my first one a few months after I had my son. I was in the hospital both with my kids, pretty much the whole time with both.
When did you find out about it?
When I was 11, I woke up one morning with my lip was this swollen, but it's like, this is nothing at all. And it's just like out to here. And I walk.
Exploded on you.
You're like, what in the world? So I walk into the kitchen and getting ready for school. And I guess I didn't know I know what it feels like now, but I just walk in there and she's like, her eyes got big. And I'm like, what's wrong? You know what I mean? And she's like, oh my gosh, what's happened? And I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, you gotta look at your lip, you know? And so I did. And I just have gone through since I was 11. I go to doctor. No one helps. No one really wants to help. I'm too complicated. There's a type, it's called hereditary angioedema. There's type 1, type 2, type 3. Type 1 and 2, I don't have, one's elevated, one's low, so you can tell through blood, work.
Right.
And you just, if it's low, let's build your, give you some more C1, level you out, that type of thing. But I have type 3. So it is
Sporadic.
a long time away from understanding. There's no rhyme or reason. You cannot test it. It comes back negative that I have it. It's all based on my attacks. But I have them.
Does it just happen in your mouth, or does it happen in other places?
It happens I've not ever been. I've been swollen on pretty much every piece of my body, literally.
Sounds like Adam.
And so I
have a buddy that gets these crazy.
Here,
he doesn't know what it is.
So back in, it's been of course. So I've heard, over there, during war times or whatever, people, because I swell internally. That's where things get. My throat closes all the time. My tongue gets and then last night I kept being like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So I haven't had it inject, but and then my insides, right?
Well, let me interrupt you. Your child is fine?
My son has had 4 attacks when boys typically.
So he has it too.
Yeah.
She's hungry.
My daughter has not. He was between 4 and 6. Boys will develop it. Girls are more when you are puberty. But the thing about type 3 is you can never test for it, and not all. Every case is different. I swell pretty much every day, and it's amazing.
Yeah, he's remembering the kid.
When I talk to others, there's a very small community because every other year we have conferences. You talk to any of them. I haven't met anybody who swells really as much as I do. So they might go and have one. So my daughter may have it one day, and she might only have one flare up out of her whole life. You see what I'm saying? But it's stress and it is trauma. Okay, you can't get stress out of your life, right? Everyone has stress.
Never.
And then trauma. It can be as easy as hitting my hand, doing a push-up wrong in the wrist. It can be just anything like that. So there's just no testing, and it's a lot. So I guess that's why I put all my time into trying to help others. My last port, I went to Tampa for 2 days in April. And I ended up the next day, because no doctors would help me, I knew it was infected. I had to start reusing my needles, and this is connected to my heart, the main artery. So you can't do that. But no one was helping me. My doctor closed shop last year. No one would help me get Huber needles. Saline, you would think it is like the Holy Grail. You cannot get it. I don't care what you try. Yes. So
you can't get IV? Saline?
Unless it is prescribed by a specialty pharmacy that delivers it to you at this moment and I also have Medicaid. Because when I was going to Gulf Coast in the infusion suite, 3 times a week, 3 years. And I would sit there for all the time before I would go get my children, so it was all calculated. I'd go home for an hour, take a nap, go back and get them. Finally, the hospital said, don't come back. They sent me this medical, and it was $150,000 for 1 month.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so
How can they tell you not to come back?
Because
they got to service anybody.
They have to. They have to if you go through the ER.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
But they don't have to if it is like.
And they might brush you off. You go into the ER, they might just brush it off as nothing.
Or you can have what happened to me. So when I was pregnant with my daughter and my son, I had so much. The C1 inhibitor wasn't approved in the United States yet. Overseas, it's been approved for 30 years. But the actual C1, like I was asking about your vials, was not approved until I was pregnant with my son. And we started a trial then. So it was a little better. Because before that, I would have to get the whole bag of FFP. Well, each bag someone else's blood. I get 2 units. That's 2 bags. So then I started building antibodies to it. And so I started having seizures when I was pregnant with my daughter.
Bless you.
And so I coded a couple times. But had her, you know, and so it was a lot. I don't remember much about having her. Afterwards, my cranial was swollen, and they went and pushed epinephrine, and you can't give someone like me epinephrine, actually. It doesn't take care of a swell, because it's your blood, but doctors don't know about it. No doctor really, truly, except for maybe 4 or 5, you know, really, that you can find that truly has knowledge, if you know what I mean. People go, angioedema, oh yeah, you swell. Okay, here's your epinephrine pen. You know, just take an EpiPen, just stick yourself. No, you can't do that. It makes me actually swell worse. So I lost my eyesight when they did that for a couple weeks. I couldn't hold her. So that was always a struggle, you know. But then once no, it's good. But now I'm just at the point, I keep getting bad. So I went to Tampa for 2 days. I ended up there for, because no one would help me. I kept calling doctors for 3 weeks. My port's infected. My port's infected. No one would see me. No one would anything. I went into the hospital that week in Tallahassee 3 nights, and they still wouldn't help me. And so they did what they could. They would give me an IV, but it blows right after you use it. And so I went to Tampa, and I knew my port was infected, but what do you do when you're out there kind of alone and no one wants to help you at all? Like, there's no one. And then you have Medicaid. So then it's like, really, you see what I'm saying? That only pays for so much. I ended up 2 days later, I knew I had a fever, and I was in Tampa for 4 weeks.
Wow.
In the hospital.
And where do you live in? You live in Tallahassee?
I lived in Tallahassee at the time.
And those people won't help you?
Well, I've lived in Panama City my whole life. It's not about helping. It is a very scary thing, especially how bad I have it. And people, you have to understand, in the medical field, they have egos. Come on. They want to know what's wrong, and they want to tell you, you know what I mean? You have very little people that really want to do research on it because there's not many people that have it.
Yeah,
so there's no money in it.
But I understand. But they
They
know,
turn you away.
They know who you are when you walk in, don't they?
In the ER at Gulf Coast, they do, and at Bay Medical in Panama City, not Tallahassee. So I would just go to Panama City. But I'll tell you that because I built antibodies and started having seizures, I would go still in the hospital, and I'd go to the ER, and there's one doctor that never liked me, and he moved from Bay to Gov. And because HA is so rare, and he's like, you don't have HA, you make yourself do this. They literally tell me that. They say, you make yourself do this. You're causing this upon yourself. Yeah, okay, whatever. So he moved to Gulf Coast, and about 4 or 5 years ago, well, I think it was in 2009, I was having seizures. I was in the hospital ICU. I had gotten out with my HA, started having seizures. My mom and grandma took me in. I'm having seizures. He sends a nurse in to give me a shot of Geodon. Geodon is a psychiatric medicine that stays in your, yes. So it stays in your system for 1 whole year.
Wow, oh my gosh.
It's from what I understand, 6 months to 1 year once you have it. And if you don't have any psychological issues like I didn't, it makes you have dystonia. So when they did that, dystonia. So when he came in, and it happened so quick. See, when I have my seizures, I can hear everything going on.
You can't.
But I don't see really, and I can't, I'm just,
You're just
yeah. So, and I guess my mom, you know, everybody, it's exhausting. So he just kind of gave it to me, and my body went, and then dystonia started happening. Tongue rolling back in my eyes, my head got locked, my jaw was 2 separate ways, back arched. They wouldn't help me. My mom and my grandmother had to put me in the car, drove me to get myself. And I was there. So these are,
I hate that.
oh,
I hate that.
well, you know, my thing is I have 2 kids, and they're now 10 and 11, and they're not living with me, and they've been gone since February. there's no way for me to take care of them, and I can't even take care of myself, really. It's very unreliable day to day. I don't know because it happens a lot at night. It's okay. It's just crazy. So there's a hospital that opened up 2 years ago in San Diego, and I've been trying to get there. And I was in this whole process so I could get there in, I think it was May. Then May turned to June. June turned to July. And, sorry. All my video.
So, are you ready for the solution?
Well, so here's the thing. It's the only place that I've been told they could help me. And I know I wanted to go your route. I do. Because you know that in the fitness, I don't like any of that preservatives, you know, organics the way I go.
Right.
I'm tired. I mean, for years, people just kept me on all these meds. Of course, they're going to give you antidepressants and things because you have a blood disorder.
Right.
Of course, you're
That's what
depressed.
makes you even sicker.
It did. I had no emotion,
Yeah.
nothing. So I took myself off of it.
Yeah.
People think I'm crazy. I am really ADHD and I'm all over the place.
That's, Me
My
too. I
brain.
am ADHD. Like
Yes. Let me tell you.
Name of the village?
I don't. No, I don't remember what it was, but
All over
So here's what I need to do
Alright.
for that 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
You got lifts it, you always take sit up.
Right.
You have to
Don't
go.
ever stick-
You look at my pictures and you
Yeah.
know every day of my life
I'll be
that I
that guy
swell
you
and
see
it's
in
not
the
small.
YouTube video.
Right.
My
Like,
throat
says,
closed,
punch
my
the computer
organs,
screen,
my
throwing it off
everything.
the desk and shit. That would be me.
They just denied me going there because
What did they say?
because my blood work's fine.
You have to go.
So guess what? I have a guy call me, the PA of the doctor that finally sent me. He calls and goes, "Good news! I got your blood work back." And this is after they lost it, so I had to wait 4 weeks, right?
What?
Right. You tell, yeah. So I go get blood work. It was after my surgery that I had this poor put in. They went ahead and drew my blood for everything that I needed because it has to be sent off to a special lab for this. It's a very special thing. I lose it. I wait 2 weeks. Supposed to be back in a week. Finally, I call and they're like, yeah. Could you come back in? I'm like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? So I did. Doctor calls me. Oh no, doesn't call me for a week. I went and I was staying in Panama City this summer. I drove over here on a Thursday and I went and I said, I'm not leaving until y'all figure this out. Give me some blood work. What do we need to do? I know it's going to be negative.
Right.
But so I've been waiting on you guys just to get me there. There's no reason for the blood work, really, because that doesn't work for me. And he calls me, and he says, I'm working on it. Calls me the next day and goes, guess what? I have great news. What is that? You don't have HAE.
What do I have?
Sure.
Give me an answer. What do I have then?
And I'm like, what did you say? I was like, I couldn't even, I just was like so flabbergasted that you're telling me I don't have HAE and I've lived since, you know what I mean, a day in, day out. So it's just one of those things. And so I did start a GoFundMe trying to get me to Cali, and that's when we thought, because I haven't been able to work for a long time. Now I'm getting back into my stuff and it's going really well. I'm so happy. That's why I'm like, be on my website, let me help you, market. I will help anybody because that's just what I want to do. I want to put my time into that.
Right.
Because I'm exhausted with this.
Right. You don't want to think about that.
Because it consumes my life.
Of course.
And
Can you
I
imagine?
don't have my children. They're the most best things in my
Precious thing in your
in the entire world.
Right.
And reasons they were taken from me are actually unjust. And now my family, and I have no family at this point. I've lost everybody. They all walked. They took my kids. I have no one. Except for I have really great friends.
Well,
And
that's
when
your
I-
family. That's your energy. So.
That's what's happened.
Yeah, that's your
So
family.
every person I come in contact with, like on Saturday, I mean, that's why I talk to almost everybody. I feel energy.
Yeah.
Yours is amazing. And as soon as we started talking, I was like, yeah, we're just like getting along. It's great. You become family.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Me meeting you, like
That's
you can
what
just, that's what happens. Edwin,
It's downstairs.
you know,
Upstairs, we just took a
I
break
have-
and had some-
I had the most wonderful people just come in my life that you never would think. But it works.
All right. So.
So